Hello, Beat Me Town Middle School. This is Mrs. Bobby, lesson 22 of module 1. This lesson will be about distance. All right, so there's a few formulas. The main formula that you will use is distance equals rate multiplied by time. If you notice, I put the dot in the middle as the time sign because we don't want to use the x. X would look like another variable, and we already have 3 variables going on right now, so we really don't want to have any more. Now, some kids like to use rate equals distance over time for this formula. If you notice, the only thing that changed here, instead of dividing by t, we could bring it to this side and multiply it, and it means the same thing as this. And then some kids like time equals distance divided by rate. And as you can see here, if I, instead of dividing, remember, fraction bar is the division sign, dividing by r, I could bring it to this side and multiply it, which brings us right back to this one anyways. So I am one of the people in this world who like strictly to use this one, but these are your other options to remember. It is up to you. I find it easy to know how to use one formula and know all the ways to use that formula regardless of what 2 pieces of information are given. So let's go ahead and take a look at problem number 1. It says, if Adam plane traveled at a constant speed of 375 miles per hour for 6 hours, how far did the plane travel? Well, it looks right here, 375 miles per hour. Now that is a speed, and a speed is a rate. And we have 6 hours, which we know is a time. So right now we have the rate and the time, and we need to know how far. So that means we need to find the distance. So we could use distance equals rate times time. So we can put the rate in, which is 375. We can multiply by 6 to find the distance. And we can do the math on the side. I'm going to do it here. And then I'm going to erase it so we can do other problems. And when you do the math on this problem, as I did right over here, if I adjust this cam ever so slightly, you can still see math. It wants to stay. There we go. And the distance, how far did the plane travel? 2,250 miles. So that's how we would use this formula. Now, if you need more time to write that down, the great thing about being on a YouTube channel or on a video is that you can rewind me. Class, you wouldn't be able to rewind me. Here we go. Going to get rid of that problem. Okay, and we're going to look at number 3. And it says, another salt marsh harvest mouse, never heard of one of those, but sounds kind of cool, took 7 seconds to run a 350 centimeter race. How fast did he run? Well, let's see. We have seconds, which is time, and we have distance, which is 350 centimeters. We need to know fast. So right now we have time and distance. So if we have time and distance, we might want to use the center formula for that. So if we use our rate equals distance over time formula, we would have rate equals 350 over the 7 seconds. And if we go to divide these two numbers out, we will find the rate right away. So I'm going to take the 350 from the side and I'm going to divide it. And we have 7 doesn't go into 3, but it goes into 35 5 times for 35. We subtract, we bring down our other number, and we get nothing. So we put the 0 in there. So the rate is 50. Okay? So we have a rate of 50 miles per hour that this mouse would go. Now, to show it in another way, the way that I usually do it would be distance equals rate times time. I'm going to show you how you can use this one formula for everything. So if you choose to do it this way, you have a chance to copy that down. But if you choose to do it this way, then we have a distance, which is 350 given. We have a time, which is 7. You see how we have a number on one side and a number on the other side of this equal sign? Well, if we do, instead of multiplying by the 7, if we divide both sides by 7, we can get the rate all by itself. And division of 7 over here is the same thing that we did right here, which we will get 50. So if our two numbers fall on the same side of the equal sign, we multiply. But if they fall on each side in this formula, we would divide. Totally up to you if you want to learn all these 3 formulas, or if you choose to learn just this one. You just have to know that if you learn just this formula, if you're given both the R and the T, you multiply, and that is your answer. But if you're given one of these and then given the distance, you then must divide to get your answer. As always, this is Mrs. Bobby, and I heart math.